Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, I'm going to continue on with our monthly series about secret societies, secret organizations that have been working with the human population for thousands of years. And so we started with ancient Egypt last month, and this month we are doing the Delphic oracles. And I've been to Delphi. It's actually a very cool place to go. It's higher up on the mountain than you think it is. It's more remote than you think it is. The fact that people had to go and find it is a miracle in itself, how they got up there. But anyways, so the Oracle of Delphi. Delphi is actually a little town in Greece, in what we call Greece now. And that's why it's called the Oracle of Delphi, because the oracle was up the mountain from Delphi. Now you have to remember the oracle was not a person per se. It was like a little chapel. It had a lot of mystical reverence around it, and it was run by priests. And a lot of people, when they hear the Oracle of Delphi, they think of the virgins that were the oracles. And they think it was something almost like a magical tarot shop kind of thing, that you walked in and asked your question and gave your donation and left. And it wasn't like that at all. I'm just going to read a little bit about it so that we are all on the same page. The Delphic oracles. And it was a secret society. It was a very upper end society. You had to be quite wealthy to join it. If you wanted an oracle, it was actually quite expensive to be a member, and you had to be mostly a lot of the upper military men were involved. You had to be somebody almost. It wasn't just for you and I to ask your tarot card reader, should I take this job? So anyways, let's get going with it. The Oracle of Delphi is one of antiquity's oldest and longest operating oracles. According to Greek myth, it was founded by Apollo after he slew the snake Python, guardian of goddess Gaia. From the 14th century before Common Era onward, the site began to function as an oracle, allowing privileged pilgrims to solicit the god's wisdom on a variety of matters. And at the heart of the Delphi sanctuary was a massive temple dedicated to Apollo, towering over many lovely treasures that the Greek city-states had built in honor of the god. Most days, the temple served as a normal place of worship. But on 9 days of the year, it became an oracle when a special medium, the Pythia, received a select group of visitors with her attendant priests. That infrequency made appointment with the Pytheria very desirable and exclusive. Indeed, to gain access, one had to make a sizable donation. A representative from the island of Chios, for example, was once persuaded to donate a gold altar to grace the temple's inner sanctum. So what would happen was, so we have the high priestess, think of Pythia, and you had to be a virgin to be an oracle at the Oracle of Delphi. And so what happened was that the high priestess would take these girls, the oracles, and you had to be virginal, and they were quite young girls. One of the myths about it was that once you were an oracle, you were never allowed to get married until you were 50. And that would have been actually quite an elderly age back then. So what would happen is the priest would like burn some incense or other potions, and the girls would inhale this. And what would happen is they would go into delirium, and some of them would like fall to the floor and wriggle on the floor, almost as if they were having like a seizure. And they would be moaning, and they would be saying things, incomprehensible things, like they were utterly stoned out of their mind. And what would happen then is the priest would then interpret what the girls were saying. So these girls never were actual mediums or seers or psychics. They were actually victims of drug overdose. And so they would do their activity, and then the priest would relay the message to the person who paid. And that's what the Oracle of Delphi was. It wasn't a bunch of virginal girls who were psychic or whatnot. They were drug-induced young girls who were no different than trained circus monkeys, really. And in some respects, it was a big scam, and in other respects, some of the stuff came true. I mean, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So let's see what's going on here. There's also a lot of evidence that what it was an intelligence operation, and the priests would pay for intelligence, what was going on around the country, etc., etc. And so then when these people showed up they wanted to know, mostly a lot of it was military action, or should I buy this business, or should I set sail, to go find my fortune kind of thing. The priest then would pretend it was a message from Apollo, when in fact it was messages from intelligence that he gathered over the year. And that's why they only did it for 9 days, because it took them all year to gather more information. So let's see, what's the energy around the oracles of Delphi as a secret society? So who was the secret part? The people buying, or the people, I don't read these in reverse, or the people who were the intelligence officers? Let's say death card right off the start. Child of the great transformers. Child. And we were just talking about the young girls. Also, look at some of the weird insects and stuff on there. You have to wonder if a lot of those girls died from some of that poisoning. The lovers, children of the voice divine. Ten of Swords, Lord of Ruin, not runes. Princess of Pentacles, Princess of the Echoing Hills. Six of Cups, Lord of Pleasure. All right, interesting. We have lots of Scorpio on the table here. And with the Scorpio, of course, Scorpio, look at, we're bookending it, but with Scorpio. Scorpio is the 8th house, and that is the house of the underground. That is the house of Pluto. That is the house of secrets. I just also noticed how much we have here of children, princess. We only have 2 lords here, Lord of Ruin and Lord of Pleasure. Also, this pleasure could also be the drugs that the girls were given. And interesting, there's fire on this, and how the smoke that they were meant to inhale. They also were given things to drink, just really transformed them. But we have here the Lord of Ruin, which is really, really interesting. Let's see what else comes up. Ten of Pentacles, Lord of Wealth, on top of the Lovers. I wonder if he made his most money when it came to questions about love. Lord of Loss in Pleasure, 5 of Cups, on top of the 10 of Swords. Yeah, like I said, there was another Scorpio card. There was a lot of mythology about what happened to these girls after they were oracles. And it doesn't sound very pleasant at all. It almost, I wonder if they became drug addicts, because they weren't allowed to marry until if they made it to age 50, they were allowed to marry. That's apparently the myth. King of Cups, Lord of Waves and Waters, on top of this Princess of Pentacles. So to me, this would almost be the priest. Oh no, this, you know what? This Lord of Waves and Waters, this would be the military people that came in. Because you have to remember, Greece, for the most part, we're a water country. Like, yes, there's some great buildings there, but you have to remember Poseidon was also one of their gods, one of their lords, one of their rulers, and they are built of thousands of islands, and they were seafarers, the Greeks. They took seafarers and they conquered other countries. Seven of Swords, Lord of unstable effort. And isn't that interesting? It's on the Ten of Swords, Five of Cups. I think that I'm really getting that a lot of these girls were forced into other things. I don't want to say. Five of Swords, Lord of Defeat. I think they were wrong a lot of the time. Interesting, we have like the big money here, but we don't have any real success. We don't have any real, where's the High Priestess? Wheel of Fortune, Lord of the Forces of Life. I think it was one big money-making scheme. We aren't getting a lot of really big, serious cards here. I thought maybe like the Nine of Wands might show up before the 9 days that they were open, or any of the nines, the Nines of Cups, the Nines of Cups, the Nine of Cups. I'm just getting that. It was a big, big scam. Four of Cups, Lord of Blended Pleasure. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm right. I think it was a type of a situation where it wasn't just the smoke that they inhaled. I believe that they were probably force-fed or made to drink some type of poisons or things that were bothersome. I actually am of the belief that some of these girls may have died. I'm also of the belief there could have been a lot of orgies going on. Prince of the Chariot of the Winds, King of Swords. Three of Wands, Lord of Established Strength. Yeah, I think Eight of Swords, Lord of Shortened Force. I think some of these girls were made to do other things. Eight of Cups, Lord of Abandoned Success. And then the Hermit, Magus of the Voice of Light. I'm absolutely almost positive that there was something else going on here. And why these men came and had to spend this enormous amount of money for these young girls who were incapacitated, especially with this Eight of Swords here. I'm just going to read you a blurb here. The Pythia never spoke the predictions herself. The Pythia is the girls. Instead, she entered into some form of a trance brought on, according to the Greek historian Plutarch, by mysterious vapors. Under the influence of these mystical fumes, the Pythia would begin to writhe and convulse while she uttered strange sounds and cries. It was up to the priest to interpret these utterances and produce a response, which gave them tremendous power, particularly if the question pertained to important political matters. You know, and I'm looking at some pictures here, and I'll try and post them as well in between. People had to be nude. To me, that's like, why? You're asking a question. Why are you nude? The Oracle of Delphi remained the most influential oracle of the ancient world until Roman times. In the beginning, the Pythia was chosen from a pool of young virgins. Their vow of chastity was tested after one petitioner, a military officer named Ecratacites of Thessaly, I'm sorry, I butcher all these, fell in love and eloped with a Pythia. Delphic laws were quite strict. Marriage to a serving Pythian virgin was out of the question. The outraged Delphians then passed a law that in the future a young virgin should no longer prophesy, and that instead an elderly woman of 50 should declare the oracles. Well, you know, if an elderly woman of 50 was declaring the oracles, they couldn't make as much money now, could they? The hermit, the magus, the voice of light. And it does show that the priest held all the power. That would be the hermit. The empress, daughter of the mighty ones. Well, this would be the high priestess. I'm actually surprised this hasn't come out. The high priestess that looked after the girls and made sure that they remained virgins, made sure they were clean and prepared for this. Nine of Pentacles, Lord of material gain. The Emperor, son of the morning. Knight of Wands, Lord of flame and lightning. Three of Cups, Lord of abundance. I think this was a big money-making scheme. That's all I think it was. I don't think, and I think it was under the guise of an oracle when it was just a big intelligence operation. And also, why did the girls have to be virgins, and why were they not allowed to marry until they were 50? And I think something else was going on here. And why was it only men of extreme power and wealth that were eligible to ask these questions? That this death card showed up first, and I know death doesn't always mean death. But when it comes with the Lord of the forces of life, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the Six of Cups, Lord of pleasure, I think these girls, I'm just going to say it, I think they were sacrificed. I think they were sacrificed. There's nothing in the annals or anything that shows it was the same girls year after year. Every year it was a fresh batch of virgins. And every year they would get just stoned out of their minds. They would never answer a question directly. It was the priest that controlled it all. And I'm really getting J.E. vibes here. I don't know why. I didn't expect that at all. I've been to the Oracle of Delphi. And I didn't pick up those vibes at all. But you know what? I wasn't looking for that either. And it's, for the most part, it's mostly dismantled. There's, you're walking around, you kind of have to use your imagination where the temples were. And I don't know if that's because of earthquakes in the area or just ruins. It's over, thousands of years old. Death, the Lovers, Ten of Swords, Princess of Pentacles, Six of Cups. We had our answer in the first row. I think these poor girls paid the ultimate price. I think the oracle part was a ruse. Well, that's disappointing. I gotta clear these cards. What do you think? What do you think the cards are showing? This is one of my more disappointing reads. I was hoping it'd be a lot more cheerful, but I gotta go with what the cards are telling me. No sense arguing with the cards. They'll prove me wrong before I prove them wrong. Thanks so much for watching. I sure appreciate you. Please take good care. Bye for now.